I learned that the atonement puts us on equal ground, no matter our backgrounds. It has the power to make it as if something had never happened, if we apply it properly. Much like when the Ammonites buried their weapons of rebellion to be kept bright, that at the last day it might be as if they had never used them. That's the power of the atonement. I saw that with companionships I was in, where we came from very differing backgrounds, and I saw that with individuals we taught and members with whom we associated with. I first think of listening and the skills that we develop to listen. People can tell if you are listening to them or if you're listening to what they say. And I think real listening comes through the Spirit because it's followed by discernment. And that was a skill that I really strived to develop as a missionary, because it's so important to listen beyond what they're saying and listen to someone's deep spiritual needs. And that comes through the Spirit. So listening was an important skill that my mission taught me. The one on the top of my head right now is my companion and I received a referral from our ward mission leader, and it led us to this house in an area we'd never been in before. And the lady that opened the door did not like us at all, right off the bat. And she was so mad that we were there. She just waxed the floor and didn't want us to walk on it and didn't want us to be there. But we told her why we were there, and grumbling the whole way, she let us in and led us downstairs and had us sit down in her living room and proceeded to tell us about her life and the serious trials and issues she was dealing with at that time. And her daughter was there, who was our primary reason for having contacted that family. So we were able to give her daughter a Book of Mormon and testify a little bit of that. But as the conversation proceeded, this woman, with the heartache and darkness and trials she was experiencing at that time, got really mad at me in particular when I tried to testify of Christ. I think she thought I didn't really understand what she was going through, and to be honest, I didn't, but I knew that Christ did. And so as I testified, she got really mad at me. And I'd never been yelled at in that kind of situation before, and it made me really sad. And I cried. And the reason I cried was because I was so hurt that we had, the solution to the trials and the darkness in her life, but she didn't want to accept it, and it was really sad. And it made my companion cry. And my companion, in one of the bravest moments I ever saw her, defended me in front of that woman, just like Christ would have. It was a really cool experience to be defended by someone who had become my best friend simply because we were serving Christ together. And I think it hit a nerve with the woman, a good nerve. Is that a bad phrase? I don't know. It hit something, so that she developed some respect, not only for us as servants of the Lord, but for the Lord. And I mean, I obviously don't know what came of that situation. We never felt good about going back, but for the daughter, she has a Book of Mormon, and that woman, at least for a brief moment, experienced some light and hope, which I firmly believe will make all the difference for her eternally. I think in general, missionaries go out with a testimony, having read the Book of Mormon and having faith in Christ. But at least for me, when I got there, I didn't know what I was teaching. I knew the church was true, and I knew the principles of the gospel, and I knew the commandments, but I had no idea how to teach people about them. And in a lot of ways, that's what the MTC is for. But if the Lord is hastening His work, He can hasten the preparation too. And I think that as people practice teaching, even before it's their calling per se, then they'll be that much more prepared. Teaching is a really important part of the work of salvation, and that's not just for missionaries. So there are a lot of reasons that Heavenly Father sent me to Toronto. There are a lot of individuals that he sent me to. There are a lot of individuals he sent to me. And the experiences that I had in Toronto specifically made a lasting impression on me and made me make decisions that I would never have even contemplated before. Decisions that will affect my life, and especially my family in the future. Again, they're things I would never have thought of had I not served there and with the people that I did serve with.